Am I live? Hello everyone. David here, back by popular demand. Just kidding, no one probably is watching this. I want to do it myself. As you can see, I'm barbecuing again. I'm actually barbecuing for Shabbat. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why is there only a couple of ribs on the barbecue? It's very simple. I've already done this part. Done most of the barbecuing. See that? And I have more steaks to go, but I'm very scared that if I'm not paying attention, I might burn the food for Shabbat. So therefore, this is kind of fake news. I've got the ribs on there now on low flame. They're cooking, but I want to make sure they don't burn the entire meal. Oh, I don't know if you can hear my dogs sound bombing this. So why am I doing this? Pretty much for myself, why not? I actually wanted to do barbecue chats for a while, but I was anonymous for a very long time due to the fact that a lot of anti-Semites were out to get me. True story. In the end, they did kind of get me when I was at work. They sent some rather unpleasant emails to my boss and other people. Didn't matter, but still, it wasn't very pleasant. Now that I've left that day job that I had and now I'm my own boss, I can do whatever the hell I like. So therefore, for good or for worse, I'll be doing more videos. So commiserations to all of you. So yes, as I said, I wanted to do these videos for a very long time. My dear friend Ari Fould, may his memory be blessed, who was murdered by a Palestinian terrorist, he actually started doing these after I had already thought of the idea. But he, that was him. He just went ahead and just did it. He was a doer, not a talker, or So I want to actually dedicate all of these that I do to Ari Fould. May his memory be blessed. So I've been thinking about what I should call these different talks in front of the grill. And I would like to see your comments on this. One thing I thought of was maybe barbecue and A. I mean, if you guys ask questions, that could be a kind of a catchy thing. And what about fireside talk with David Lang? I'd like to hear your other really bad puns in the comments, please. They're the ones that I've got. That's all I've got right now. So basically the idea behind this is to show off the meat that I'm grilling. More to come. But also actually, sorry to get my hand in the way, but also actually to just talk about what's on my mind while doing the thing that I love the most, or one of the things that I love the most, not the thing that I love the most. Which is grilling. A lot of people say that their best thoughts come in the shower, but for me it's in front of a grill. I'm a bit of an Aussie like that. So what I wanted to maybe bring up today is a topic of a Zionist list that came out, the 50 top Zionist influences, which many of you who follow the page have already seen. Maybe due to the fact that some of the people on that list have been plugging it. I actually wrote a piece about it. I haven't been full on plugging it, but I wrote a piece basically explaining that, it's a very nice list, blah, 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 I'm on it, yeah, great. But the real honor actually was a reaction to the list by one of the other people on the list, a former Syrian refugee, Abud Dadanchi, hello if you're watching Abud, but basically said some very nice things about me. Now, it's not an ego thing, but when you have someone who used to be anti-Israel that says that they use your work and admire your work to now influence their views in some way, that means a lot to me, more than any sort of list. I don't want to poo-poo the list. I know the people behind the list. The people behind the list are very good people. They're Israel activists, and they put some thought into the list. There was another list that came out recently, which was basically just a streaming service, or they're basically going to position themselves as a Netflix service for Israel. But I didn't like the list, to be honest. Yeah, more people can tune in now. I'm about to unload. Basically, why I didn't like the list was because better get my hand out of the way. It was basically just a PR exercise, and they had a list of the top 100, I think, people pushing or advancing Jewish life, and it contained 2 messianics. And although, hello to all my Christian friends out there, I love you dearly, my reason for not liking them on the list was because it was a list of Jewish people or sorry, a list of people advancing Jewish life or Judaism. And that you can't claim that someone that is trying to convert Jews to a different religion is advancing Judaism. So, you know, I can't shut up. A lot of people are a bit more politically correct. That's not my thing. And I basically wrote about it, and this streaming service didn't like that so much. They came up with a few other lists, some worthy people on it, some not so worthy people on it. Doesn't matter. I'm talking about this list by Social Light Creative, the 50 top Zionist influencers. So, first of all, I hate the term influencer. It's a bit cringeworthy to me. It doesn't mean anything. It's just hot air. But the reason why I'm even mentioning this list is because I like the idea behind it, which is to create some buzz and to get everyone sort of aware of people doing some great work for the cause of Zionism. And therefore, that's the reason I'm talking about it now. And some people have criticised the list because there have been people on there that aren't really Zionists. I spoke about one, or I mentioned one, who's a forward writer. I won't mention them, but I'll plug my blog and you can look at the post, who is anything but a Zionist and has in fact compared our Prime Minister to Hitler. I know many people out there don't like our Prime Minister, but if you compare them to Hitler, then you're a freaking anti-Semite. Don't do it. I don't like you for doing such a thing, and you shouldn't compare a leader of Israel to Hitler. That's anti-Semitism right there. So you get off the list. You don't deserve to be there. There are other people that, J.K. Rowling's on the list. She's stuck up for some Jews in light of all the Labour anti-Semitism. Kol hakavod to her, well done. I appreciate it. She's not a Zionist, so it depends how you define Zionism. But again, I'm not here to poo-poo the list. This is what other people have said. What I do want to do, however, in speaking about this list, is talk about some people that I personally think, if you're going to talk about people that are doing great work for Israel and Zionism, they deserve to be mentioned. I'm going to mention two people now. Please don't get offended if you think you should have been on the list and I'm not mentioning you. There's, probably at least hundreds of other people I could mention. But I just want to give a shout out to two other people right now. One is Simon Plosker from Honest Reporting. And I want to shout out to him. So Honest Reporting is a great organisation that points out media bias against Israel. They do great work. I've always had a very good relationship with them. Simon's an absolute mensch. He's a gem. He's actually had his last day yesterday. And I want to mention him basically because he has done great work, and I want everyone to understand that. He also is a huge mensch and a really good guy. And therefore, Simon, I don't know if you're watching now, you better watch the replay, mate, because I'm giving you a nice plug. So Simon actually left Honest Reporting. Bad timing on Simon's part, because this was before the coronavirus. He wanted to change of pace, perhaps to do something a bit different. And then the coronavirus came, so the job market's obviously pretty hard, but the guy's so freaking talented. I'm sure he's going to land on his 2 feet. And Simon, if you ever want to write for Israellycool, you know where to find me. So that's one person. Another person that I actually want to give specific mention to is Kay Wilson. Kay Wilson, if you're not aware, is a wonderful human being, good friend of mine. She survived a machete terror attack, which from a Palestinian terrorist a decade ago or so, and unfortunately her friend Christina Lucan perished in that attack, and Kay Wilson played dead, and she's here to this very day doing great work. And what I love about Kay's work is, although she was, it was attempted murder on her, a Palestinian terrorist tried to kill her, she's not against all Palestinians, neither am I. She basically knows how to distinguish the terrorists from the civilians, and she basically has a lot of friends who are Palestinians, Palestinian Arabs, that she's trying to work, towards peace with. And Kay, I don't know if you're watching this, but please watch it at least in replay. I've read your book, and I would love to interview you soon on your book, The Rage Less Travelled. Everyone who's watching this, please Google it, The Rage Less Travelled. It's an amazing book about her experience, but actually post her experience. And Kay's an absolute wordsmith, and she's a gem, she's a treasure. So they're the two people that I've decided to talk about today. Maybe in other unsolicited videos in front of my barbecue, I will talk about other people. Please don't be offended if I didn't mention you, but I just felt the need today to do that. So yeah, please, I'm going to end things off now. I've got to get to the meat. That's the most important thing here. I hope all of you are being safe. I hope this lockdown ends soon, but in the meantime, just please play it safe. Don't rush out there and do anything stupid. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback to this. Not whether I should do it or not. I'm going to do it whether or not you like it, but maybe some feedback on some catchy bad pun names I could use. Also, before I go, I'd just like to mention I interviewed an amazing person last night. You're going to find out this week who it was. I'm going to actually stream that. It might be Sunday evening Israel time or Monday evening. Don't miss it. Pretty famous guy who loves Israel and is on the right side of history. Okay, so everyone, Shabbat Shalom. Have a great weekend. And until next time, peace out.